This nibble originally aired on RSBANDB Update, episode 811, 20 Years of Good Times. Enjoy. You know, I think it's worth doing a bit of introspection on this. We actually have a question from Questcaping this week on this that says, we know that part of the 20th anniversary celebration will be the Once Upon a Time, a recipe for disaster-style quest with various subquests, each reinterpreted a past RuneScape quest. Are there any quests in particular you'd like to see get this treatment, and how?
Dennis, you want to go first?
All of them? No, not all of them. So, I'm going to say the fight kiln. I love the story and the lore around the Takar. Is that Tazar?
Tazar, yeah.
Tazar. I always thought that was interesting because when I was just a wee little newbie guy and I wandered into the volcano and just got crushed by one time, I was like, it's kind of neat. But I like the fight kiln, and I love those wave attack type things. So I think that could be modernized. I mean, we heard David talking about AFK and fight kiln the other a few weeks ago, you know. So I'd love to see that redone because I actually thought it was a good quest too. Actually, there was like a trilogy, wasn't it, where you did the one where you earned the obsidian shards. I can't remember what that was. It was more like a cage looking thing.
Yeah, I don't recall exactly. Okay. And, you know, interesting you choose that because that has close relation, we would assume, to the Elder God Full because she created the Tazar.
Yeah. I thought about that too. Like, especially now, given with what's going on with the Elder Gods, like, and because we found so much more about Jazz through the Dragonkin and Sliske storylines. So that would make sense, and it would be cool to find out more about another one of the Elder Gods.
Okay. For me, I would, and you know, I gotta draw attention to these because they were also mentioned in the little mini quest that we did this week. Elemental Workshop series. There was a line in the mini quest this week where your character says "Elemental Workshop 5?" ?
They did that just for you, Shane.
In terms of puzzles that people always pull their hair out. And they also mentioned, what about a light puzzle in a temple without a guide? But to answer the question, I think you got to look to the big keystone moments on this one. And I think what you got to do is you got to have some kind of summary in there of the Plague Arc resulting in Prif. I also think you got to have some kind of summary in there in the Desert Arc resulting in Menaphos. And I think you also have to have some other kind of arc in there focused around your character that's around the third act, so to speak, when, you know, in most films and plays, you see that the third act is when you're at your lowest and you don't know if you're going to be able to push forward on that and actually recover the plot. The third act could, of course, revolve around your character and everything that we've been trying to do, pushing forward from the world wakes and through the Sixth Age. And then, you know, we try and resolve things last minute, and then bam, we got the Elder Gods right in our face. So effectively, I'd like to see something focusing on the World Guardian as well in the Sixth Age storyline. And, you know, maybe just have one segment as well that's full of comic relief where you can put all those other little, you know, off-the-cuff quests here and there, like the bacon quest, like the cabbage quest.
Bacon.
Bacon.
It's bacon! You remember that episode?
Yeah,
Shane?
I remember that one. You had fun with that.
Bacon! I was totally on board. I was having so much fun with that episode.
Yeah.
I was losing my mind. Whatever little brain cells I had left that day, I all went into bacon.
But yeah, that's how I'd split it apart. I'd split it into 4 things. So to recap, you know, focus on the key areas like Prif, and the journey to that, the desert journey, your world guardian journey, and then, just have a couple along the way for lightheartedness as well that, you could kind of maybe throw into some kind of weird little comic routine in there. How about you, Trekkie?
If we were to do this, like one giant quest with like mini quests in it.
Yeah, that reinterpret past quests.
I say either Legends or Desert Treasure, because at that time those two were hard. Like when at my level at the time when we were doing it, those were hard. I was like beating Legends back when I was like level 60 or whatever it was at the time. I was like, this quest was hard. Well, you did it.
Yeah, and you know what the fun reward was for Legends at the end of the day was the ability to purchase the other half of the half shield and Shadow Warriors.
Yeah.
And the totem is what was the big deal for me. Because this is pre-Lodestone, so
right.
You were using combat bracelets and skills bracelets to get around and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and Legends cape was the best cape in the game before all the skilling capes came out.
Yep. So much so that it's like that's the only one you can put in your house. And well, not the. I think there's one other one. I can't remember what it is. But
yeah, could you imagine people
frame your Legend cape?
Right. Could you imagine people framing their max capes and whatnot?
I would.
I would.
Buy another one. Let's buy another one.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be important to do this. And what I see with this is that they say it's a multi-part year-long quest. And, I think what this telegraphs to us is that, multi-part, I think that implies you're going to have more than 2 parts with that. And, if you're doing at least 3 or 4 of these, you can throw in another 2 little mid-sized quests here and there and maybe 1 epic quest. And then with that, we're up to 6-7 quests this year, potentially.
Or it could be like, we should do a big old giant quest, and then they realize, we can't finish this all in time for January because don't smack us with the whip. And it was like, we'll just release it in multiple parts. That's a great idea, boss. Yeah, boss, that's a great idea.
Well, the interesting thing though, if this works, then we might be able to see more impactful stories that don't have to stretch over several years, like a Sixth Age or something.
Yeah.
You could actually have a big story that's done through a series of quests that's contained within a year. You know what I mean? And maybe this is a test for that. I don't know.
Yeah, and Recipe for Disaster was 10 quests all in one. But
it was all at once, right?
All at once, exactly.
At least when I played it, it was all at once. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And, you could do the same thing today, or you could, employ modern storytelling and realize that, maybe we should, roll this out over the span of, 3 or 4 months instead. And then you got a general trickle of content, and you can put focus on each one and the characters on each one as well. And, looking at this and everything we got with this, I think it's going to be a much better way of telling the story than just, hoisting it all on us at once.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing about RuneScape players. Sometimes you have to save us from ourselves. And that does include questers, too. If you give questers 10 quests to do at once, they'll be
done in the week.
That's what I'm saying. They're the same as the rest of us. So, I think it's better to just, spread it out. Have a little bit of space in between, because otherwise we'll eat it up. We can't stop. You can't eat just one. Got to have more.
Yeah. And in regards to the how, I guess I think what you could do is that. I don't want to say to cop out and, say that it's going to be kind of like a movie version of the quest, so to speak. Somebody is writing a book about recent events in RuneScape history. I think that'd be really boring, but that's the only idea I have of how you'd pull off this kind of 20th anniversary retelling of quests, so to speak.
Well, who knows? Look at the Gower quest. That was a very unique experience.
Lots of fourth wall breaking.
Yeah. Lots.
Yeah.
I guess I guess I could see that. That they would have to find a really compelling storyteller or some way to tell that story to make it interesting.
Yeah, and I think time travel's
Like,
off the
if
table.
It was like that. Oh God, I hope so. I hope so. I am not a fan of time travel stuff. That's like time travel is like, let's fix it with magic. Why that happen? Magic, time travel. Like, I don't know. I don't want it.
Yeah.
You know what? They could
device.
go back. Well, what if it was just slightly twisted, like Dimension of the Dam, or not Dimension of the Dams, New Varrock. Oh God! See what that thing did to me? It's I got PTSD. But no, like a New Varrock. You know how it was just slightly kind of twisted. Like, what if it was 20 years of slightly twisted?
And you're trying to repair events to it, or what? Like, what would be the frame on that?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I guess I was thinking like an alternate dimension, but
yeah, they've kind of already done that. I wonder if they'd want to do that again. I don't know.
Spitballing here.
Yeah, thank you.
Where's the whiteboard when you need it?
Yeah, exactly. We need to call Mod Jack into that. Thank you, Questscaping, for that question. You can find full episodes of RSBANDB Update right here on this YouTube channel. If you found this video useful or just enjoyed it, like and subscribe, or leave a comment.